I continue my reading of Pope Benedict XVI's Encyclical letter entitled Caritas in Veritate. I begin here at number 50 in chapter 4. The title of this chapter is The Development of People's Rights and Duties and the Environment. I shall read numbers 50, 51 and 52 on the environment. Number 50. This responsibility is a global one, for it is concerned not just with energy, but with the whole of creation, which must not be bequeathed to future generations depleted of its resources. Human beings legitimately exercise a responsible stewardship over nature in order to protect it, to enjoy its fruits, and to cultivate it in new ways with the assistance of advanced technologies, so that it can worthily accommodate and feed the world's population. On this earth there is room for everyone. Here the entire human family must find the resources to live with dignity through the help of nature itself, God's gift to his children, and through hard work and creativity. At the same time, we must recognize our grave duty to hand the earth on to future generations in such a condition that they too can worthily inhabit it and continue to cultivate it. This means being committed to making joint decisions after pondering responsibly the road to be taken, decisions aimed at strengthening that covenant between human beings and the environment which should mirror the creative love of God, from whom we come and towards whom we are journeying. Let us hope that the international community and individual governments will succeed in countering harmful ways of treating the environment. It is likewise incumbent upon the competent authorities to make every effort to ensure that the economic and social costs of using up shared environmental resources are recognized with transparency and fully borne by those who incur them, not by other peoples or future generations. The protection of the environment, of resources, and of the climate obliges all international leaders to act jointly and to show a readiness to work in good faith, respecting the law and promoting solidarity with the weakest regions of the planet. One of the greatest challenges facing the economy is to achieve the most efficient use, not abuse, of natural resources, based on a realization that the notion of efficiency is not value-free. Number 51. The way of humanity treats the environment influences the way it treats itself, and vice versa. This invites contemporary society to a serious review of its lifestyle, which in many parts of the world is prone to hedonism and consumerism, regardless of their harmful consequences. What is needed is an effective shift in mentality, which can lead to the adoption of new lifestyles, in which the quest for truth, beauty, goodness, and communion with others for the sake of common growth are the factors which determine consumer choices, savings, and investments. Every violation of solidarity and civic friendship harms the environment, just as environmental deterioration in turn upsets relations in society. Nature, especially in our time, is so integrated into the dynamics of society and culture that by now it hardly constitutes an independent variable. Desertification and the decline in productivity in some agricultural areas are also the result of impoverishment and underdevelopment among their inhabitants. When incentives are offered for their economic and cultural development, nature itself is protected. Moreover, how many natural resources are squandered by wars? Peace in and among peoples would also provide greater protection for nature. The hoarding of resources, especially water, can generate serious conflicts among the peoples involved. Peaceful agreements about the use of resources can protect nature and at the same time the well-being of the societies concerned. The Church has a responsibility towards creation, and she must assert this responsibility in the public sphere. In so doing, she must defend not only earth, water and air as gifts of creation that belong to everyone, she must above all protect mankind from self-destruction. There is need for what might be called a human ecology, correctly understood. The deterioration of nature is in fact closely connected to the culture that shapes human coexistence. When human ecology is respected within society, environmental ecology also benefits. Just as human virtues are interrelated, such that the weakening of one places others at risk, so the ecological system is based on respect for a plan that affects both the health of society and its good relationship with nature. In order to protect nature, it is not enough to intervene with economic incentives or deterrents. It is not even an apposite education is sufficient. These are important steps, but the decisive issue is the overall moral tenor of society. If there is a lack of respect for the right to life and to a natural death, if human conception, gestation and birth are made artificial, if human embryos are sacrificed to research, the conscience of society ends up losing the concept of human ecology and, along with it, that of environmental ecology. It is contradictory to insist that future generations respect the natural environment when our educational systems and laws do not help them to respect themselves. The book of nature is one and indivisible. It takes in not only the environment but also life, sexuality, marriage, the family, social relations. In a word, integral human development. Our duties towards the environment are linked to our duties towards the human person, considered in himself and in relation to others. It would be wrong to uphold one set of duties while trampling on the other. Herein lies a grave contradiction in our mentality and practice today, one which demeans the person, disrupts the environment and damages society. Number 52. Truth and the love which it reveals cannot be produced. They can only be received as a gift. Their ultimate source is not and cannot be mankind, but only God, who is himself truth and love. This principle is extremely important for society and for development, since neither can be a purely human product. The vocation to development on the part of individuals and peoples is not based simply on human choice, but is an intrinsic part of a plan that is prior to us and constitutes for all of us a duty to be freely accepted. That which is prior to us and constitutes us subsistent love and truth shows us what goodness is and in what our true happiness consists. It shows us the road to true development. In my next segment, I shall read Numbers 53 and 54, which begin chapter 5.